You there, brother Bill?
Yes, sir. I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you good, and you got me correct.
Yes, I do.
So I don't know if you're familiar with the ADOS and FBA. They were supposed to be groups to, like in Cobra, to fight for reparations, but they're saying they need to delineate to get them. And not only that, it's kind of hate speech coming out of the camps. You know, Africans are this, Africans are that. We shouldn't unite this. We shouldn't. We just worried about ourselves. Whenever we speak up, everybody hates us. And I'm like, that's not unity talk. We got problems here. We can't unite here. But you can't cut off your history. You can't cut off all of this stuff. What do you say about that, brother Bill?
Well, let me just say this here. And first of all, thank you. And, good evening to everybody that's listening, right? You know, this here book, It Is Now Time, I wrote this in 2000, right? Breaking the Political Chains, I wrote it in like 2005. So, my whole thing have always been this, man, is that we need to unite ourselves, right? And I try my best to not get caught up in arguing with people that uh, my perspective is different than their perspective. If you're black, I want to know on what level can we unite on. We may not agree on everything, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not kicking you to the curb
That's right.
unless you're just totally against us, right? And then I always say once we unite the way that we need to, a lot of people that got doubt in terms of can we do it, we're gonna bring them in. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people are just scared, man, because they don't think we can do it. But once we do it, then they're gonna start to come in. So I try to spend my energy in terms of trying to find ways in terms that we could unite ourselves because I know we could do it, right? I mean,
Right.
when you sit here and you represent the UNIA, then I was saying to somebody the other day, in some senses we should be ashamed of ourselves that a Marcus Garvey and a Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and Huey Newton and other people years ago was able to organize thousands of people and millions of people across the world. And today in 2026, we have a hard time trying to organize 200 people,
That's
right?
right.
So, for me, I mean, I'm spending all my time in terms of that. What can I do, right? What can we do? And of course, as you know, Everett, we pushing this whole thing called Unity Day for March the 8th.
That's right.
Asking black people all across the country come March 8th, 2027, and every March 8th afterwards, then let's have unity programs all across the country, all across the world, right? We don't have to go ask the government, can we unify? We just have to make a decision amongst ourselves. And what would that look like on March the 8th in St. Louis, in Detroit, in Chicago, in California? All across the world, black people's having programs. They're bringing in younger children, and younger children is witnessing these type of discussions, and now they understand why it's important to spend their money with other black people, and why it's important that we build our own schools, and why we have to have our own hospitals. So, for me, I'm more in tune with who's ever trying to set the example that I believe we need to set. I ain't getting caught up in it, because even when people talk about reparations, then I'm not out there actually fighting for reparations, but I'm not against reparations. So those who wants to fight for it,
That's right.
then it's good because I'm gonna benefit from it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not against that. You know what I'm saying? That's not just where my focus at. My focus is on us uniting ourselves because I realize that's where our power is. See, we haven't seen our power
That's
because
right.
we haven't seen the way that we could unite,
That's
right?
right.
Before I die, I pray that I want to see some of the power that Marcus Garvey was able to do uh, years ago. That some of the other ancestors was able to do, right?
That's right.
Because I'm saying, I can't give an excuse in terms of why they was able to do it, and here in 2026 we can't do it. So that's what my mission is, man. I'm not getting caught up with arguing with black people about my way or their way. We disagree on that, man, and we want to go to blows because you vote Republican, I vote Democrat. Man, I don't have time for that at 73 years old.
That's
That's
right.
why I told somebody before. 20 years ago, look, man, I used to go to all the city hall, city council meetings. I used to go to the school board meetings. I used to be enamored with being around people and rubbing elbows with governors and mayors and all. But that stuff don't impress me no more. You see what I'm saying? Because I found out that didn't mean a damn thing. It was just people that I knew, but they wasn't doing a damn thing for the people on the bottom, right? So, my thing is that how do we pull ourselves up, right? How do we put ourselves in power? How do we put ourselves in a position to really be able to defend ourselves against when we attack? Just like we sit here and we talk about the government, right? Then however we view the government, then, if they attack us, physically come in like they did the MOVE organization or like they did Tulsa, Oklahoma, then what can we do? You see what I'm saying? So I'm saying we need to be trying to develop our plan and our schemes in terms of that, how are we going to take care of ourselves? I mean, brothers and sisters that know how to grow food, then they important because we're going to need them when we need food. Brothers and sisters that's ready to take people out to gun range and teach people how to shoot and stock up weapons. We're going to need everything, man. But what we don't need is to spend our time arguing with one another when it's too much work that needs to be done.
Let me ask you this, Brother Bill, because you was very excellent about the arguing, etc. But when do we put our foot down and say that we have to stop these agents in our community that say Pan-Africans, most black people do not align with Pan-Africans, that people know who's real and who's not, that Pan-Africans are outdated, that Pan-Africans suck, and we need to separate ourselves in America, and Pan-Africans are crazy. What do you say to that? What do you say if a child comes to you and speaks that rhetoric? What do you say to that child? How do you persuade him that this type of rhetoric is wrong, harmful, and irresponsible?
No, first of all, man, I think that our unit is going to take care of all that. But then when you say Pan-African, because you have some people on different levels. I know some brothers that call themselves Pan-Africans. You know what I'm saying? Because how they think that we need to walk that rope ain't necessarily the truth. My thing is that all of us Pan-Africans, all of us black. You know what I'm saying? So, if I'm not as out there as you are in terms of how you see it, then, that shouldn't give us no reason to not embrace ourselves, because we have to find, what do you bring to the revolution? What do you bring to us as a race of people?
But I'm glad you on, Brother Bill. Hold up. Because they're not doing that. They are against unity of black people all over the world. So while you saying March the 8th unity, they're not going to participate. If they do, they're going to say this unity is only for black people, American descendants of slaves, and nobody else. They do not want unity worldwide. You don't even have to be a Pan-African to say, this or that. And this is what I want you to understand the fight. This is real. This is real. What do you say to a young child that comes to you and says that he feels we do not need to unify with those overseas? What do we say to them? Because there are young people saying this now that's following these people, and it's becoming irresponsible and dangerous.
No, I'm going to tell them that they're wrong. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the same reason you need to unify with your brother, sister here, then it's the same reason. I mean, we are the same people, right? But I'm saying that, when we saying that come March the 8th, then look, it's some people right here that I deal with every day that may not want to participate in March 8th. But I can't worry about that. I'm worried about the ones that do, right? Because eventually when we get there, Everett, and enough of us that believe in unity and really wants to unify, and Everett could make a phone call, you could get on this here podcast, and you could say tonight, I need 5,000 brothers, I need 5,000 black people tomorrow to show up at City Hall, then you're going to demonstrate unity. People going to see that. People going to recognize that. And people wants to be a part of a movement, man. People get excited in terms of being a part of what they think was happening. It's like a hip hop song. You know, when you hear a song that you like, you want to learn the song, you want to learn the beat. Well, we have to make unity the same way, man. We have to make it so great that Black people wants to participate. And that's the challenge that we have to find amongst ourselves. So, you know, I mean, it's a lot of things that we could look at and saying that what we disagree with, right? But if we continue to fight in terms of what we disagree with, then when we're going to come and say, look, the things that we agree with is more important than the things that we disagree with. So let's work here, right? You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? So, you know,
I appreciate you, Brother Bill. Not to cut you off. I appreciate you because we got a guest in. I want to get him on because he believes that we need to delineate. So I'm going to have an intelligent conversation with this good brother, my man Jake, on call from X, Twitter. But before I let you go, I just want you to know I agree with you in Unity Day, March the 8th. We want to have Unity Day all over. And like you said, we got to embrace these people and love them. And hopefully they understand that, you know, get the bag, but don't sell your people out for the bag. But I want you to go ahead because I want you to close out with the Black Man Monthly Breakfast tomorrow. Where is that?
Well, I am going to say it, but you know, I think it was Malcolm X or somebody said that we have to learn to love our people more than what they love themselves.
That's right.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I mean, once we really understand that, man, then, you know, there's a whole bunch of things that we're going to push away and not let ourselves get caught into, because I always say somebody have to be bigger than the next person. I'm not going to let you pull me down when I'm trying to grow and I'm trying to move towards unity. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that division stuff, you take that and talk it with somebody else, because I'm on the unity train. Right. Whoever wants to jump on the train with me, then there's room. Jump on board, you know, because we riding the unity train. I'm not getting on the division train.
That's right.
But
it's unhealthy.
Absolutely. So in reference to our Black Man's monthly breakfast, which is tomorrow, and all Black men and Black boys is invited. It's going to be at 2204 Mayfield Avenue off Harford Road, back over there by Montebello. So again, you know, it starts at 10 o'clock. All Black men and Black boys is invited. And I'm saying, you know, y'all, come on, man, let us make it happen, man. You know, we're in 2026, man. I mean, you know, we don't want to leave here and your children and your grandchildren, you leaving it on them, hoping that they could find a way in a pathway to unite us. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, let us do it so they don't have to figure that out, that we set the pathway for them to walk on and we can make it easier for them.
I got you, Brother Bill. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. And again, yes, Unity Day is March the 8th, correct?
Yes, sir.
So if you are not in Baltimore, this ain't a local thing in Baltimore. We want to just start it here. We want all of y'all, everybody that's in the UNIA, March the 8th. Let's make that happen for Unity Day.
One last thing, if I can, because, you know, every month we doing a program. Like this month is June 16th. It's going to be our next phase. So we also asking people wherever they at, man, to start having unity discussions, to start building up to it. You know what I'm saying? Don't wait for March the 8th. Help us to build up to it so when March 8th come around, then we ready and we can have everybody all across the country doing programs in reference to unity.
I appreciate you, Brother Bill. Thank you so much again. That's Brother Bill Goodin, Black Man Unifying Black Man. Powerful, powerful. It's always good.